NotebookLM is powerful, but the moment you try to use it seriously, it breaks. No native folder organization, no import system, no real export pipeline, and you hit that wall fast. Google built a brain, but they forgot the hands. So the community fixed it. Today, I'm showing you 6 tools that turn NotebookLM into a real production stack, including one setup that automates a faceless YouTube workflow from research to final audio track. That pipeline comes together near the end of this video. If you're still copy-pasting between tools, you're working too hard. Let's build the stack. Extension 1, YouTube to NotebookLM. Input layer. One-click import directly from the YouTube interface. Manually importing one video takes 2 to 3 minutes. Copying the URL, switching tabs, opening the notebook, pasting, submitting. For a 10-part research series, most people just skip it, which means the research doesn't happen. This extension injects a button directly into the YouTube player. Same import drops to 20 seconds. But that created a new problem. The easier it got to import content, the worse my answers got. Frictionless import encourages hoarding. Pull in 40 unvetted videos, and you dilute the notebook's signal quality. You made ingestion easier and made the output worse. Most people won't notice. They'll just think NotebookLM is getting less useful. The real problem is they've polluted the corpus. The cap risk compounds it. Free accounts hit 50 sources per notebook. That's where you hit NotebookLM's source cap, long before the underlying model's raw token window. The extension can appear to stall without a clear warning. Vet before you bulk import. Stack impact rating, 4 out of 5. Essential if video is your primary research input. Secondary otherwise. Extension 2. NotebookLM Web Importer. This is the web clipper Google forgot to build. Every article or research page you want to analyze currently requires either copying text manually or saving as a PDF. Neither scales. This extension scrapes the active tab, strips navigation and ads, and pushes clean text directly into your notebook. One click. The bulk tab import is the transformational feature. 20 research tabs go to NotebookLM in a single action. The unit of work shifts from per article to per research session. That's where this starts compounding. And it solves something most creators don't have a name for: tab bankruptcy. That low-grade cognitive load of holding 40 open tabs as a memory system. Sources go into NotebookLM, tabs close, the anxiety drops, your PKM stays clean. Risk: broad read access permissions across all visited sites. Solo developer, open source at the time of writing, no misuse reported. Stack impact rating, 5 out of 5. Install this first. Highest frequency input problem, 0 cost. Extension 3, Bookshelf Folder Manager, organizational layer. Virtual folders for NotebookLM's flat dashboard. If you have more than 20 notebooks, the dashboard is a chronological list. Finding anything means scrolling through noise. This extension adds a sidebar with actual folders and drag and drop organization. It worked great, until I realized it only worked on one browser. Log in from another machine and every folder is gone. The developer has indicated long-term maintenance isn't guaranteed. It's a visual overlay hooked into specific CSS classes. One silent Google UI update can break it overnight. This is where workflows break. Use it. Back up your folder data. Never treat it as permanent infrastructure. Stack impact rating, 3 out of 5. Useful past 15 notebooks. Too fragile to depend on. At this point, I wasn't just adding tools anymore. I was rebuilding the entire workflow. Extension 4, Kortex. This is where things got powerful and a little uncomfortable. If your workflow runs across Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and NotebookLM, every handoff is a context switching tax. Copy-paste, tab switch, loss of structure, rebuild. Kortex eliminates those transfers. It injects Save to NotebookLM buttons directly into ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Perplexity. Full AI reasoning sessions archived as source documents, single click. It also includes a prompt library, global search across notebooks, and podcast RSS for audio overviews. Though check current feature availability as this tool updates frequently. The trade-off is significant. Broadest permission surface in the stack. NotebookLM, Google Drive, ChatGPT, Claude, and social media simultaneously. You're placing your most sensitive intellectual work inside a third-party bridge across every critical environment you use. That is not a minor decision. Pro tier is a few dollars a month with a lifetime option. Check current pricing before committing. Who it's for. Creators already running a multi-tool AI stack and hitting the daily friction of managing it. Strictly inside Google Workspace? Overkill. Orchestrating between reasoning and memory tools? Most powerful option in the browser stack. Stack impact rating. 4 out of 5, conditional. Don't install speculatively. Extension 5. NotebookLM Ultra Exporter. Output layer. The exit ramp from Google's walled garden. This is the moment NotebookLM stops being a research tool and becomes production infrastructure. Without this, most of what NotebookLM generates stays locked in Google's interface. Useful to reference, awkward to ship. With it, every output format becomes workable. Notes to Markdown, Word, or PDF. Slides to PowerPoint, MP4, or individual images. Mind maps to PNG, SVG, or OPML for Obsidian or Miro. Flashcards to Anki. Tables to CSV or Excel. All designed to run locally. Nothing sent to a remote server. Think about what that means practically. A slide deck that required screenshotting slide by slide. A mind map rebuilt manually in another tool. A flashcard set formatted by hand. All of those become one action each. Most people don't realize this is where their workflow is degrading. Not in the research phase, but in the export phase, where the friction accumulates invisibly. For anyone building an Anki deck from a study guide, moving research into Obsidian, or delivering a client slide deck built from AI synthesis, this closes the gap between I have this in NotebookLM and I can actually use this. The risk is DOM dependency. If Google restructures how artifacts render, exports could break. The developer is active. And the more important point, Google will expand native export, but toward docs and slides, not Anki, not Obsidian, not OPML. The formats this extension covers are precisely the ones Google has no incentive to build. That's what makes it defensible long term. Stack impact rating, 5 out of 5. Install alongside Web Importer, no hesitation. This is the output counterpart to the highest leverage input tool in the stack. Now we move outside the browser entirely. 3 tools. Each solves a specific production handoff. Tool A, NotebookLMRemover. NotebookLM slide decks typically include visible branding on exported PDFs. For anything going to a client or public audience, that's a problem you have to solve before you can ship. NotebookLMRemover processes the entire PDF in one pass. Upload, process, download, clean. Single operation regardless of deck length. Caveat, external server upload. Evaluate sensitivity before using with proprietary content. Multiple free fallbacks exist. Stack impact rating, 3 out of 5. Use it for any slide deck going external. Tool B, Drawboard PDF to JPG converter. NotebookLM exports PDFs. Video editors need individual image files. Without a conversion step, that means screenshotting each slide one at a time. This is where workflows break. Drawboard handles the split in under a minute. JPGs drop directly into a video timeline. Run NotebookLMRemover first, then Drawboard. Clean, individually usable frames ready for a video project. Stack impact rating, 3 out of 5. The right bridge between NotebookLM's PDF output and a video pipeline. Now this is where the automated pipeline from the intro finally comes together. Tool C, TurboScribe, and the pipeline that surrounds it. TurboScribe transcribes audio with speaker detection and timestamps. But what matters here isn't the tool, it's what it makes possible. Here's the sequence. You start in NotebookLM with your source material, strongly grounded in what you've uploaded, with clear attributions that significantly reduce hallucination risk. You generate an audio overview, a 2-speaker AI discussion of everything you've researched. You download the audio file. You upload it to TurboScribe, which transcribes it with speaker labels and timestamps. No cleanup required. The structure is already there. You feed that transcript to Claude. Claude reshapes it into a single voice monologue, your channel's tone, your format. That script goes to HeyGen. HeyGen renders it using your voice clone. The output is a YouTube-ready audio track built entirely from your NotebookLM research. No camera, no microphone, no manually written script. Let that land for a second. Research session to published video, no recording. The only thing you're contributing is editorial judgment. What to keep, what to cut. That's not a tool. That's a production system. The friction? 3 accounts, 3 pricing decisions, 3 potential failure points. HeyGen requires a voice clone, one-time setup cost. For a one-off video, setup cost outweighs the return. Build it after you've validated the faceless format, not before. Stack impact rating, 4 out of 5. For faceless creators publishing at volume, this closes the loop. Don't build it speculatively. If you're using any of these tools differently than I scored them, tell me what actually changed in your workflow. This isn't really about extensions. It's about making NotebookLM usable in a real workflow. The extensions are just the community's answer to problems Google hasn't solved yet. Once you understand that, the tools become obvious. Tools don't change workflows. Leverage does. That's the only metric that matters here. Leverage. Pinned comment has the full breakdown. Most people don't need more tools. They need a system that actually works. AI tools. Human tested.